Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Today, we're going to be talking about how to not let technology run or ruin your business. I know that sounds kind of interesting, but we're going to get right into it. So, hello, hello. I'm Heather. If you don't know me, I help service based entrepreneurs set up their business systems so that they can have time and money freedom to do what they love to do. And if you're here with me, I'd love it if you can say hi in the comments and just let me know that you can hear me. Put your name if you can, because I can't really see your name unless you put it there. But yeah, and if you're here with me live, you can put hashtag live. And if you're here with me watching the replay, you can go ahead and put hashtag replay. But today we're going to be talking about technology, okay? Because too many people see it as an obstacle. And we're just gonna go through that today. I think, a lot of people, the ones that are maybe 25 to 30 years old, like you've grown up to be pretty tech savvy, but a lot of people who are in their late 30s, 40s, and up, right, see technology as maybe a hurdle that they need to overcome. I hear this a lot. Okay. So, we want to just understand, is technology an ally, or is it something that, might be standing in your way? Okay. We also want to address all these fears surrounding the use of technology. Like we talk about, Facebook ads or email marketing and all these things that you do online. But there are those who wonder, like, what if the internet shuts down, or for some reason, I can't use it anymore? What happens to my business then? Right. Or they could get overly worried maybe about the membership site that they're using or what landing page software is best. It's almost as if they're thinking that if they just use the perfect software or the latest one, they're going to be more successful than ever. So I want to give you a proper understanding today of how technology fits into your business. Because the truth is, technology is not what makes or breaks your business. Okay. It is important. Okay. But it is not the main thing. What matters is that you understand the principles behind what makes people buy from you. And that's what we're going to, be guiding you in choosing, today, right? We're going to be talking about that. Like, that's what's actually going to guide you in choosing the best software or platform for your particular offer, right? Knowing that technology is changing so rapidly that we're at a point where it's almost impossible to keep up with. There's always a new app or a new software or a new tool that you can use, and they come out monthly or maybe even on a weekly basis. But understand this, even though technology is constantly changing, the good news is human nature pretty much stays the same. So you want to be building your business on a solid understanding of how human beings work, what makes people buy, what do they want, right? What are they trying to achieve? And how can you help them realize those dreams, right? Don't be creating those imaginary problems saying, if I just get this, set up, or if I can just choose like the ultimate website plugin, then I'll be successful, or more successful than the next person, or just as successful as the next person, or whatever, right? Instead, master those things that you can go back to again and again and win every single time. So let's just check out the comments here. Hello, hello, hello. Awesome. Glad you can hear me. Welcome, welcome. So, the first thing, let's dive right in. The first thing to remember is you have to know your audience, okay? The typical marketer, okay, would look at maybe gender, maybe age, maybe location, like where these people are from, right? But it's got to be more than that. Okay. It's crucial. What's absolutely crucial to know is what it's like for people to be living with the problem that you solve. So, for example, if you're a relationship coach, let's say, okay, you need to understand what it's like to be in a marriage that doesn't work. Okay. Like, how does it feel to wake up and go to bed every single day with someone that you used to love for years, but now seems to be a total stranger today? right? Or what is it like to work and care for your children while you secretly deal with those feelings of hurt or betrayal or emptiness, right? So the more deeply you can go into appreciating the problems of your audience, the easier it will be to connect with them. Okay. And it won't even matter at that point whether you choose Facebook, whether you choose Instagram, whether you choose Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever, right? Like people are everywhere. You're going to tap into these people. What really matters most is that. Okay. What matters is when they listen to you or read your content, it will resonate with them deeply, right? And they'll just be so amazed at how clearly you can describe their own thoughts and emotions. Because if you don't know your audience at that level, it will be really hard to create content and materials that are of any value to these people. Okay. So, how do you find that out? Well, ask them, right? Communicate with your audience. That's the only way that you'll be able to explain their problem better than they can. And it's like being in their head, right? And speaking out their thoughts when you know them on that deep level like that, right? And that's so valuable and it's so worth investing time in. Like, even go so far as like when they've, you know, like what have they already tried maybe, right? That hasn't worked. Okay. Like just know them better than they know themselves. And don't use a lot of professional jargon either. Like if you're, I don't know, there's a lot of like super intelligent, like maybe CPAs or doctors, things like that, right? That use typical jargon. Actually, I have a pharmacist client that it comes to mind, right? Like things are just very like her industry would understand, but her ideal client wouldn't understand, right? So you don't want to use professional jargon that you typically use because the better you get at explaining it and on a level of like a fourth or maybe fifth grader, the faster it will resonate with your ideal client. Okay. So the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning is when you understand your audience so well, your desire to help them out becomes even stronger because you're really going to empathize. You're really going to know and understand like what they're going through, right? And you're going to want to get them out of that as quickly as possible. So you think about what happens with these people without my help, right? And how awful it'll be like a year from now or maybe 5 years from now if you can't help them. And that's going to really motivate you because it's not going to be about you, right? It's going to be about them and what they need and getting them to find you because they need you and so you can get them out of their suffering type of thing, right? And a lot of these service-based entrepreneurs I work with, they created a business from a problem that they once had as well. So when that's the case, it becomes even easier to empathize with others that are going through the same issues. Like sometimes I've got clients that have never helped anybody else other than themselves, but because they've been through it themselves, they have that knowledge, they have that wisdom, they have that expertise because they've gotten a result for at least themselves. Right. And so now they can help others with that same issue. I work with people that have had like Crohn's disease, for example, that have gotten off of a lot of terrible toxic medications and gotten into like more natural things and they've got energy again and they're like living with the Crohn's still but just being able to thrive in their life instead of being debilitated by it and helping others with that knowledge and that wisdom and that expertise because of their unique experience with it, right? So even though they didn't help anybody before, because they've helped themselves, they're able to communicate um, very effectively, right? But even if you don't share the same experiences with your client, that it still doesn't excuse you from from getting to know them deeply, to getting to know them on that deeper level, right? So go ahead and exercise your imagination so that you can see what they see and feel how they feel. Does that make sense? I'm gonna move on to number 2, but awesome. Just checking the comments there. Good to see you, Peggy. All right. So number 2, second principle um to go by or whatever is like I know I say this all the time, Outcomes, right? Outcomes. The second principle is people want outcomes. They want results. Okay. I know I think I say this almost every single live, but this is it, right? Um, People want outcomes, right? So the trap for some business owners is they build their businesses around how great they are or how great their process is, right? And that's how they're trying to stand out against the competition. But the truth is, okay, most people in your audience don't really care about any of those things. Okay. All they want is the outcome. What you can help them have for themselves that they ultimately want. So if you're, a business expert like me, for example, people come to us to set up their businesses properly so that they can so that they can get sales quicker than they would by themselves, right? We usually shave off about 3 to 5 years, of having to figure out how to put it all together themselves, right? So they can get the sales quickly and leverage their time. Also, put those systems together so that they can leverage their time so that they can ultimately have freedom and flexibility in their life, which is typically why most people go into business versus having a 9 to 5 job in the first place, right? So, like if you're a fitness expert, right, people come to you to get fit. So, talking too much about yourself or your certifications and your accomplishments, it kind of alienates people and even discourages them from actually working with you. Okay. And this is true no matter what platform you are in. So, always talk about the outcome that your people want. Spend time talking about what what it's exactly costing them the longer they put off getting the help that they need too, right? Or trying to figure it out on their own, right? It can radically simplify your marketing and your communication when you're set free to just talk about the outcomes that you provide. How amazing is that, right? So let's move on to number 3. The third thing I want you to remember is that information is dead. Okay. Information is dead. And what do I mean by that? People don't want to just sit through your site and study 50 modules plus a few freebies, right? So we're at that point where people are so bombarded with information. Like it's just all at a click of a button, right? Information is everywhere. Like just think to yourself how many posts have you seen so far on Facebook just today? Right? How many comments have you read? How many emails or text messages did you get today? And then let's talk about the news too, right? What you see on TV. There's just information everywhere and you just get overwhelmed with the information. And a lot of people get confused, right? Because people are saying different things. I get that a lot. It's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? There's all these like gurus out there, right? That are like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do a challenge, you got to do whatever, I don't know, post every day, all day, everywhere, and it's just like, it doesn't have to be that way. And so it's just that I realize that a lack of information is not the problem. Okay. That's just not the problem. There's information everywhere. Like just look at your friend who's in like bad shape, right? But has tons of books and subscriptions on like how to lose the weight quickly. Or, how many gigabytes of marketing modules do you have, just waiting to be deleted on your hard drive because you're simply too busy with dealing with life, right? So what's missing? What do you think's missing? It's the transformation, right? It's the transformation, that total life-changing, transformation that we need. So talking, about all that information is just too much, right? But taking all that information and simplifying it into like a step-by-step process that's highly doable or actionable, with that, right, you can now take a client by the hand, walk her through the process that will actually bring her to the dreams that she's been dreaming of, right? And that's what it really takes to get someone to win, okay? To get a desired outcome. So the more information can just confuse you and your client too, right? That it becomes just harder and it takes a lot longer. So simplifying that process, right? So if you also like just hand out band-aids, I like to call it, like, oh, here's some info on that, here's a quick tip on how to do that, right? That's not really gonna do your clients any good either in the long run. Like they might just take that information and run with it, and then they're not really gonna get the result, like the ultimate result that they want, right? It might just do a quick fix. It might and it might not, because you need to go deep with people that want that transformation, right? You can't just give a little quick tip here and there and then they get that ultimate result, right? You need to go deeper with them and it needs to be strategic and they need to do probably the work, right? Because all they really want is that simplest path that can permanently resolve their problem. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So let's move on to number 4. The next principle that is incredibly valuable is the one call enrollment, I call it. Okay. So have a process that allows you to have a conversation with a prospect that goes straight into enrolling them into your offer. Okay, so this is like no matter what technology you're using, as long as it gives you the ability to have that actual conversation with a human being so that, you know, um, so that you can just enroll them into that thing, right? One of the most valuable skills you should develop as a business owner is that ability to have a one-time conversation with a prospect that results in people buying from you. If you can do that, technology doesn't even matter. So, for example, you know that for every 5 people you speak to, okay, you enroll one client, let's say. Okay. So if your offer is $5,000, okay, and your goal is to make 10,000 a month, then you can do the math right there, right? To hit your income goal, you need to speak to at least 10 people every month so that you can close 2 clients who will each pay you 5,000. That gets to your 10,000, right? It's a numbers game, but it also is a skill set, right? To be able to have that conversation with somebody that easily guides them into that sale, right? Like, how do you communicate the value effectively around what you're offering so that you stand out as the go-to expert against all the competition, how so that people will pay a premium for it, right? So that they'll be eager to buy it and they'll think that it's a bargain. Like, what do you say to easily enroll them into that sale or into, what you offer, right? Like, do you know how to communicate the value effectively once you got them on the phone? It's a big, big, amazing skill, right? To have. So that eliminates all the marketing trends, right? That you really don't need in the first place. And it greatly simplifies your processes. So don't be scared to talk to people and just, choose to hide behind your sales funnel or your landing page and all that kind of stuff, right? You don't need it in order to get paid, but you do need to understand how to communicate the value effectively around what you have to offer. And as long as you can and you know how to speak to people, you will continue to enroll clients like clockwork. Okay. Otherwise, you're just going to be greatly dependent on technology to make those sales for you. And you don't want that to happen, right? Because even if you're super low tech, you'll still be meeting with people. And when you when you bring your child to school or when you attend a party or you go to the coffee shop or any of that kind of stuff, right? You're meeting people around town, you're meeting people here and there. So if you can have that conversation to easily guide them into what you have to offer, if they're a good fit, right? Then that's it, right? So you'll just be having that conversations and the problem that you solve might always come up, right? People need to feel that they are heard, not just that you're pushing them into buying something from you, whether they need it or not, right? So that's why I say if they're a good fit. But at the end of the day, you want to sell, but to the right people, right? To those that are a good fit, bottom line. So, like, what I teach my clients, it's not just guiding your prospect into buying from you, but guiding them into making the right decision. Okay. Even if that means that they don't end up hiring you, right? It's like get them on the phone, see what's going on, right? Get clarity, and if it is a good fit, then you're going to easily enroll them into that sale. And if they're not, then maybe what I do is I recommend other people that might be a better fit for them, do it all day, every day. Well, not all day, every day, but anyway, all week, every week, let's say. So anyway, that's about it for today. Let's see if there's any questions or anything. Let me know if you have any questions. You can put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer those for you. But yeah, if you're interested to learn more about how to not be at the mercy of the ever changing technology, let's hop on a quick call so I can check on what you've got going on in your business already. And it's a free call that I offer. It's a 45-minute like clarity session. We talk about, you know, we see where you want to take your business, like what's your revenue goals, what's all that kind of stuff. See what you're doing today that's not working, that to get you to those revenue goals, right? And then I can suggest the best strategy to get you there. Sound good? So if you want to take me up on that valuable offer, you can just type in the word technology in the comments here, and I or someone from my team will get back to you with a DM and get you all set up for that. So hopefully that has been helpful for you today. Looks like we don't have any questions. So yeah, so I'm here every Thursday, 3 p.m. in my business growth blueprint, high ticket services that sell group on Facebook. You can also visit my channel here on YouTube, and please like and subscribe if you're here with me on YouTube right now. It'd be awesome. But yeah, just technology in the comments, and I or someone from my team will get back to you with a DM, set you up for a call if you're not reaching your income goals, if you're not getting the sales that you want to get, if you're, just feeling like you're overwhelmed or stuck or just throwing stuff up on the walls and not getting those results that you're looking for, then book a call and we'll help you out, right? We'll get you some clarity. And then if it's a good fit to work together, we can talk about that. And if not, then like I said, we'll point you in the direction of someone that might be a better fit. So have a great day, and I will see you again next Thursday. Take care, guys.